Hey everybody, starting another stream here. Gonna be doing pixel art in Aseprite for Pyrotoad, and should be a good time. Hang out for a minute while I get things set up and send some links out. Okay, I think we're ready here. Actually, one thing. Okay, now I think we're ready. Oh. Ah, whatever. Okay, yeah. That seems to be good. Alright. Alright, here we are again. Back at this level. There's some issues in GB Studio here, like the colors on this that we want to weed out here. It shouldn't take too long. I imagine it has something to do with palettes, and there's some weirdness going on, like on this tile it's got that weird pixel there, so let's see what this looks like. Excuse me. I've made some changes, so perhaps we need to just load excuse me, these changes here, and if we pull up this, makes it a little bit easier to see if there's any stray pixels or anything like that that might have been causing the palette issues. Because I've been noticing that if it's got more colors than it is allowed to have, it does weird things, right? So I've had to go in and make changes to like the spikes because they had a dark outline, and that was too many colors. I actually made a whole lot of changes. I changed the colors on these tiles. These were more green before. Now they're more blue. Oh yeah, so for some reason, before we get too into things, just a little disclaimer, my OBS settings have changed. So I had to like dial them in like right before the stream, and I wasn't exactly sure where they were before, so should be okay, but who knows? Who knows how it will. I'm just looking at these things again to see what's going on here. So we count the colors. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 3, 4. So it should be okay, but I don't know. Like I said, maybe I made some changes to it and just never exported it. So we'll go ahead and overwrite what was there, and we'll load that in there. But first, what I want to do is make sure this palette color, this color here, is in GB Studio, because it's doing something funky because it doesn't have that color, I think. So we're just gonna 255, 253, 87. Oh, what do we have? A check-in. Thanks, Cosmo. How you doing? Glad to have you back. Yep, just about to do some pixel art here, and should be good. There is an ad starting soon, but I just started streaming, so we'll take a tiny break or something during that. But doing well, just chilling as it's cold and snowy. Oh, that's crazy that it's snowing by you. And we had a little bit of snow, just like these tiny little snowflakes that like barely look like snow, just like floating down, not sticking or anything like that. But no, I always find snow to be a pain, but you got to kind of make do with it, so you might as well enjoy it, right? We have around an inch on the ground where I live currently. Wow, an inch. I mean, I guess I'm saying wow because it's been a while since I've seen a whole lot of snow. But we had about an inch actually, almost. I mean, you know, but it didn't stick. No, it wasn't an inch. It was probably like a quarter of an inch. But it didn't stick. That's pretty cool. That's kind of cool that you got an inch. I mean, an inch is manageable, I feel like. Once it gets past like 3 inches, then it's like, oh geez. Like, it's fun to play in, but I don't know, it's been a long time since I've had like a real snowy winter. It's probably more now, as in Des Moines, it's going to be around for the day. Interesting. For it to be snowing. Gotcha. Yeah, no, I'm in Illinois, so near Chicago. So we get the lake, which does a lot of weird stuff to the weather, but it's a similar climate to Iowa, and the Des Moines River passes through this area. But yeah, hopefully it's not too bad for you. Just an inch, that doesn't sound too bad. I think it's kind of personal preference sometimes with people like or don't like snow. I was gonna make this palette. Let's so what is this? Is this the color? I don't think this is the color. I'm gonna make a new palette, and the lightest is going to be that bright one. What was it? Oh, we need this, I think. That would make these. That just the hex value. So copy that and throw that in there. And is that no. Okay, so that's that. And then to make it fit with everything else, we need this. So copy that, paste it here. Lake effect snow is a pain, as my cousins in Michigan had to deal with it with over 2 feet of it. Yeah, I think Michigan usually gets it worse than the Chicago area, but sometimes it hits us too. Honestly, a lot of time I feel like it just does like wacky things to the weather on our side of the lake. Like you would think that it would be cold and then it's not, or like everyone else around you gets snow and you don't. But then other times it'll be like you get snow and everyone else around you doesn't. I don't know. I haven't actually lived in this area for a long time now, and like when I left, it was like there was like a blizzard not that long before. I think in 2013 there was a blizzard, and back in what 2011 I think, or 2010 there was a blizzard or something like that. I managed to escape to Arizona for the polar vortex. I was there for 6 years, and now I've been back. In the couple years that I've been back, well, I guess this is like the third winter now, I think, or no, second winter. I can't remember now, but it's been pretty mild, is what I'm trying to say. You walk everywhere, so it can be a pain. Yeah, no, I hate that. I hate that, especially when it ices over. Oh, did I talk right through the ad? I'm sorry. I wanted to take a break for that. That sucks. Oh, you don't get ads because you're subbed. Awesome, awesome. That's cool. I didn't think about that, but yeah, thank you. I appreciate the sub. Oh yeah, awesome for the bits as well. Definitely appreciate that. Very cool. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with these two middle colors, but it makes sense to make them usable elsewhere. I just don't know what I'll need. Because those tiles, oh yeah, I guess it would need these tiles. It would need these colors. All right, so that's what I need is this one. Copy. Where's this? Wait, go back. Is that the light color? No, this is the dark color. All right, so there. Where's the other one? There. That's cool. I didn't realize that you could do that. I just clicked on this and pasted and it worked. Usually I would go down there to do that. But I think that's the palette that I want. Spend the bits wisely. I appreciate it. Eventually I'll get to my payout threshold. But yeah, 100 bits, so I mean that's awesome. Appreciate that. Yeah. So we've got these colors, which should fix the issue with that, but then also this was like being weird too, so maybe I need a palette for this one also. Because this has a different lightest color. So maybe that's where it was getting confused and changing the colors up. So I'm gonna add another one, and I don't know how much space these use on the Game Boy yet, so that's a little bit of a concern of mine, but also it's something that I'm kind of paying attention to. So as the game gets bigger and has more art, we'll have to pay more and more attention to where the resources are getting spent. But mostly the level designs are coming first, and the game's already got a lot of levels, so. But yeah, luckily Game Boy Studio is like, it does a great job like writing like optimized code basically in the end, right? Because anything that you give it, like you can make an unoptimized game, don't get me wrong, but anything you give it, it will send it in a way that the Game Boy is going to read like very, very quickly. And I mean, you can still give it a loop that it will slow things down, or tell it to do a whole bunch of things on the update step, and that's still going to slow it down, of course. But if you give it one instruction at a time and give it space, like just a couple milliseconds, or like, 50 milliseconds or something like that, in between, so it can register, then it's like super quick, and it's just so like compact. It does a great job of like fitting all these things together. And then from what I understand, and granted I haven't been using the engine that long, is you come into an issue where you use too many tiles, right? So what we're doing is, because we've got all these levels here, and this isn't even the most updated build. This is just me testing to see if the colors work, right? So I'll have to rebuild these palettes, but if that's what we got to do, then that's what we have to do. But I want to make sure that they're working before we do that, because yeah, if that's the case, then it should work when I throw these images over. But I gotta finish that palette. Where was I? Palettes. So I'm gonna grab the lightest again, and that's this one. I think I've already got it, but I think, oh, that's not the right. I think there needs to be some redundancy to make it work with the art. Oh, that's not even right. I think that's supposed to be there. I want this one. Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing there. Paste that. Is that the same? No. Anyways, that's what I used in this, so, and that we already have, so we need this one. Oh, there it is. What? Where did the this one. Paste that there, and then is the background the same as this one? I think everything should be the same. This one too, right? Yeah. Alright, so that should fix that also. So I'm going to find the image that I just exported. Background. Alright, so I've copied that file. Now I'm going to open this one and go into the assets folder, backgrounds, and just, actually I'm going to go into this folder and paste it here, and then I'm going to rename it so that way I can just overwrite. Oh. Oh, it's like there we go. So now let's take a look and see what that did. Oh, there's a wild Pokemon in chat. A Tali, I can't even say that one. I've given up already. Alright, so if we zoom in, it appears to have fixed some of it. Like, all of these are now the same color. They're not the color that I gave it though, right? So that's a little weird. And this is completely different. And then this is weird too. These are still being funky. I didn't make palettes for that though, so maybe that has something to do with it. But again, this is not the color, so it's a little weird. Let's take a look at what this does. So, maybe you can only use so many palettes, because I made more and they're not on there, right? I really don't know the answer to that. I'm gonna take a look at the internet here. Okay, so it looks like you do only get 8 palettes, so that would be why. So we run out of colors, is what's going on here. So at least we ran into this issue like now instead of like later when we've already designed all the levels, because we're gonna have to be more, or I'm going to have to be more optimized with my color usage here, because I got kind of carried away on these levels, I think, because, well, it's just weird because like this seems to work fine on this level but not on this level, right? Even though it's like the same. So it's like this one ran out of palettes, so it can't use the palette that it has. I don't even know. It's acting very strange. Excuse me. Colorizing a scene. I'm reading the documentation. Select the colorizer tool from the editor tools. There are 8 palette types that can be added to a scene with color mode enabled. Palettes can be adjusted in settings. Note that the 8th palette in the scene will always be used for the dialogue, windows, and menus. The palettes used in the colorizer tool can be swapped out for existing palettes, such as the UI palette, by long-clicking on the palette. Oh! For more information about drawing mode, use the colorize tool and collision tool, see keyboard shortcuts. So apparently, if you long-click, so then it's only 8 palettes per scene. I think I just figured out how to do this here. Except that I'll have to draw it all manually? Is that the case here? Is this even the one that I want? This is the one. So this is actually working. But it's going to be a longer process to do it this way. It's weird that it doesn't do that automatically. It only uses the 8 default palettes automatically, it seems. So anything after that has to be done by hand? That seems strange. Maybe there's something that I'm not quite fully understanding. But it seems like a lot of effort just to get this to work, but if we want a lot of colors, which I do, then it looks like we'll have to paint them all, which is time consuming because there's a lot of levels, but I guess if that's what it takes. Not sure how it's gonna handle this. Oh, I guess that works pretty well. We can turn off the layers. So we're just looking at the art. What does this button do? Tile priority. So this, oh wait, is that the wrong one? No, that's the right one. Why is it making it all ugly? Huh. Yeah, it's totally completely losing a color. That purple color. Or no, it's using the purple color. It's completely losing. SQL Jesus says, daytime Rick stream. How you doing, sequel? Yeah, it's been a while. My sleep schedule just does backflips on its own sometimes. I'm not really sure. Hey amigo, doing well. How are you? I'm doing good too. Doing good. Just hanging out. Working on this. Kind of taking care of my mom's dog for her. She's out in Florida right now. And yeah. Kind of chill. Luckily I don't want to say it too loud because she knows that I'm talking about her, but the dog's not being annoying right now, so I don't want to talk about her too much here, otherwise she'll do that. But hopefully she's asleep. I don't hear her snoring, so probably listening. Anyways, nice, love to hear it. Yeah, no, I'm just hanging out. How you been? It's been a while. Yeah. So also, are you familiar with using color mode in GB Studio at all? Because I'm still learning, and it's kind of challenging. I don't know if I flip-flopped these or drew them wrong. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know why, because the way that I drew it, the white is on top. Laugh out loud, I'm not familiar with color mode at all. Honestly, I'm just kind of learning as I go. But it's easy when I was using the default palette because you just give it the colors and then it makes it work with the automated color mode thing, but hitting this button now is giving me these ugly colors. But yeah, the magic brush. What is the magic brush? Whoa. I don't think it's doing a great job here. Why is it making everything blue? Is it because I have the wrong palette? Oh, okay, okay. Could do purple. Okay, I see how the magic brush works. It's working on a tile basis. But That means I have to recreate all the palettes for each level and then paint them all in, if I'm understanding. Color lessons with Professor Rick. I actually did learn a crap ton about color in college, right? Because I went to an art school. Like we literally took a class called Light Vision Color, and it was a science credit, and it was definitely the funnest science credit. I definitely enjoyed it. But now it's making it black, and this is like, whoa, it's really light. Is it better that way? I think it might be better that way. It is a magic brush. What does it do here? Whoa, that looks better too. I think I just guessed and fixed something. What about this? No. This? Oh, that's the one that we have. I think I need to come up with a new palette for these bricks. Maybe I already have? What else is in here? We've got this one, which is like the exact same. And then these hieroglyph things, they just get lost. I don't know what happened there. Like, because here's some more. There's like a third color that's missing. If we take a look at the hieroglyphs here, there's 3 colors. So that's kind of weird. Sounds like a cool class, and now it's paying off in spades. It was a really cool class. It was one of those classes we only had to do once a week, but you could only miss like 2 or something like that. And I didn't miss any of those classes because it was just, well, first of all, it was hard for me to miss because it was right in the middle of my day. The ones that you had to worry about were like, oh, you've got to take the like middle of the day train to get to the city, and your class starts like, I don't know, at 3 or something, or 4, and you've got to stay there until the end of the night because you've got like a studio class after that, and it'll be like 11 o'clock. Those were the worst ones, because if you missed that midday train, you're gonna miss that first class, and that is like, you can only miss so many of those. So, oh, there's a Pokemon. That fella, I don't miss having weird Swiss cheese schedules. Yeah. My sleep schedule has been messed up for a long time now, and it probably started during college, for sure. Well, I don't know. I've always been kind of a night owl. I used to play video games late into the night. In junior high and high school. Anytime I could get away with it. Weekends or weekdays, whatever it took. There's an ad that's starting in a couple minutes. I'm gonna try to remember. Many such cases, college is not ideal for building good sleep patterns. No, it's terrible for it, really. They just like, oh, they're kids, they can handle it. And then, you know, I was lucky because I didn't have to work during that period. I had friends that weren't so lucky. And honestly, in art school, it just, a lot of times it just didn't work out if you had a job, because it's so demanding. Because not only did you need to do the homework, but if it didn't look good, you could like get booted from the school. Yeah, that can be very tricky. Yeah, no, it was like you really had to devote yourself at the school that I was at. Like there was no way around that. And yeah. It was like freshman year was always like half of the class would like drop out. And then each preceding year some more people would drop out because of whatever life stuff or whatever, can't afford it, that kind of stuff. Yeah, 1 minute for the ad here. Let's see. I'm gonna make some tea during the ad break, I think. I really want to figure out why these hieroglyphs don't have 3 colors. That's kind of bothering me. Because they do here. Maybe this one just is like outside of the color gamut, the color space that GB Studio and GB Color allow for. All right, ad break. Art school, a Darwinian process. It's very much survival of who can afford it, really. But yeah, also you gotta be good. Like they're hardcore. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, that ad's starting, so I'm gonna make my tea. All right, pretty much perfect timing there. Sequel, if you're still around, I think I mentioned to you that I was moving soon, right? So I'm still not sure when, but I have a place to move to now, so I'm really excited for that. Sorry, I had to prepare a cup holder for my tea. But yeah, I found a place. It's really exciting for me. I'm thinking about all the crap I have to buy now. I'm already paying bills for it, so that's fun and exciting. It's got a beautiful kitchen. I'm very excited for the beautiful kitchen. It's got a huge walk-in closet. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that, but it's got a nice garage. It's got a storm shelter. I'm excited, very excited. Luckily, I have some savings. Awesome, man. Sounds cool. Thank you, Sequel. Really appreciate that. Yeah, no, it's kind of one of those things that's been pressing on me for a long time now. You know, like when I first moved out to Arizona, I was kind of just like, all right, I need to, you know, find my way into some industry, make enough money to, like, you know, to live off of. Wasn't even thinking really about property. I was kind of thinking like, man, I'm gonna have to like rent for the rest of my life. And that was kind of bogus feeling, you know, because I wasn't making a whole lot of money. And then my mom, I think she was kind of worried about me because I was living in this. It was like the areas I was living were just getting worse and worse because I needed to pay less and less for rent, and the rents kept going up. You know, even though I needed to like move to the ghetto to not afford the rent went up to nearly the price that I was paying at the other place. So I had to move out from there too. But luckily my mom came in and she helped me out with a condo, but she wanted to, you know, make money off of it and sell it. So and also I was paying rent to her, but it was the same amount that I was paying when I was living in the ghetto. But then the ghetto caught up with the condo. I think I told you that story with the alleged drug lab that one of the neighbors had. And then, you know, just to fill anyone else in, then my mom, her breast cancer came back in her brain, unfortunately, and so I came back home because I had no place, because the condo was, I was afraid to live there. It was that bad. I was living at a friend's house for about a week, and we made arrangements to sell it, and then I got the heck out and moved into the basement where I'm at now. But it's been cozy here, right? Because they've got pets. One of them died, unfortunately, while I've been living here. So they still have 2 pets, and you know, luckily they travel quite a bit, but that leaves me babysitting the pets. And I guess it's kind of lucky for them that my work kind of allows for that, because when I am actively working, it's like on my own schedule kind of thing. Like, I mean, technically I'm actually working right now while I'm chatting, but because this is my own time, no one's getting charged for it, I can take my time. The longer I take, the longer I'm spending my time, so I'm just enjoying my tea and chatting at the moment. But, you know, as far as the partnership goes, hopefully everything is cool and I get paid, you know, what I'm due, which would be half. After I've done sound effects and art, and he's done the programming and the design, it equals out to about half, we decided. So technically, I'm making money at a really, really slow rate as I drop pixels at once every 2 minutes here. Now, but this tea is really good. It's really hitting the spot. I'm slowly addicting myself to caffeine again, and in the form of tea still. I thought about coffee, like realistically, for the first time in like over a year. And I was like, nah, I don't really want it. But do have to go to the airport later. So if I get tired, I might end up having to resort to something like that. But I'll probably be okay. Cause yeah, my sleep schedule is kind of fixed, but like I woke up at like 4 or so, 4:30 maybe. But yeah, I tried to like go back to sleep at that point, and then I couldn't. So, but yeah, it's a little weird that this one's on top of this one. So I'm wondering if maybe I put I like made a mistake when I was building the palette. Also, this is looking really wacky. But the thing is that I shouldn't spend my time colorizing this build, right? Like this project, because like I said earlier, this one doesn't have all the levels that have been made so far. Like Jonny keeps working, so I've been working mostly in Aseprite, but I've been casually dragging them into this project to see how it reacts, because I knew that there was going to be some type of difficulty in doing a lot of colors, and I realize now that it means we'll have to build the palettes for each scene and then paint them in, which I was hoping we could avoid, because something as easy as this, I just used this colorize button, and it goes in like that, and then you give it that, and you hit that button, and you don't have to colorize anything for it. But that's because it's using the default palettes. So these first 4 use the default palettes. But then if I want to go outside of that, I have to actually paint in the palettes. LOL, early crew. But yeah, I got the gas and the electric and the sewer and the trash and the water all taken care of. And it was funny, the electric company, they did something really weird. After I was done talking to them, they said, stay on the line, we're going to transfer this call to someone who's going to help you finish the process. Right? And I was like, really? And they're like, yeah. Oh, there's a Pokemon in chat. So I stay on the line, and it goes to this person, and she's like, oh, hey, can I ask who you are? I was like, can I ask what I'm doing here? Like, the electric company just sent me here. I don't even know why. They're like, oh, we're here to help you shop. I was like, shop for what? They're like, for internet and cable. It's like, you're kidding. I don't think I need help with that. Like, I don't mean to sound mean, and I hope that I didn't make the person on the phone feel bad, but like, I'm glad I didn't stay on the call anymore, because it would have been apparent how idiotic that appeared to me, that someone's job was to answer that call and say, I'm going to help you shop for internet and cable. Like, holy cow. Cross utility, cross promotion. Yeah, it was, they were like, we're going to get you to buy our cable. Like, really? You don't think I can decide which cable company I want based on just my own intellect and my ability to use the internet on my phone or the internet at the library? I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe it's helpful for some people, but I think it's mostly for old people to try to like engage them. They're like, oh, we've got you on this long call already, so we'll just throw you over to this company that does internet and cable sales. But Yeah, she just hung up. She didn't even say bye. When I said I don't think I need that. She just hung up. So it didn't seem very professional. But what are you gonna do? They know you know. Yeah. Like I just doesn't seem right. Like come up with something that people actually need help with. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you were like shopping for satellite or you were like out in the middle of nowhere and you couldn't get like cable, like that might be more difficult. But even then, I don't think you're gonna get help from a call center. I don't know. I always try to be respectful to call center people because I've worked that job at 2 different places. But at the same time, if someone's doing the job poorly, like, I'll take my time because I know that upsets them. Like, seriously, like, that's how that works. Like, if you're doing your job poorly, I'm gonna ask you to do it over so I can understand what they're saying, basically. Like, because sometimes they just get into this rhythm where they say things that make sense to them, but they don't make sense to me. So you have to, and this is like, you know, this could be anyone. I mean, like, you know, the 3 people that I spoke to, one was like had a southern draw, was a male. The other one was a female who had like a Indian accent, and then the 4th one, or no, the 3rd one was automated actually. No. Yeah, no, I couldn't get through to the 3rd. It was the gas company, and I realized that like the only way to do it was online, and they just like, you know, needed a few bits of information. Like, the whole thing was kind of difficult for me because I'd never like bought a house before, so, and I didn't have like proof that I owned it yet because I just like closed on it, and so yeah, apparently all they need is like your social security number, and they just like look up the rest. Call center retribution by asking them to repeat that. Exactly, like because if they're moving too quickly, you have to like slow them down, and they don't like that. But like, if they're not doing it, if they're going too quick, then they're not doing it right. So I don't know. Like I said, I try to be as respectful as possible, but if I feel like they're not respecting me as a customer, like they're just not doing their job well. And like, I know whenever I was doing it, someone was always listening to the calls. There's someone always listening at my calls. So like, sometimes I'm talking to that person too, you know what I mean? Honestly, I try to stay off of the phone, but with this situation, it was like, it appeared that the only way to do it was through the phone. And yeah, 2 of the companies were that way. And the 3rd one, I swear to God, it was so weird. Every time I called there, it was a different automated message trying to sign me up for a different thing. But it was the number on the gosh darn gas company's website. Like, it was like auto insurance, and like there was another one, and like because I like didn't understand, and then if I didn't type in anything, it would just hang up. So I was like, what? So I call again, and thinking maybe I missed the right prompt. Yeah, no, it was a weird situation. I was, it's intriguing to see how Oklahoma's utilities system is. Not to mention, my address is in 2 different cities, so hopefully that works out, because they didn't have the right address for my home, and on 2 different things, and the person that I spoke to told me that it was probably because they hadn't switched their system over, and that it used to be of that address or something like that. I don't, or it's a new house, so they hadn't actually, like, it's hopefully gonna work out. Oklahoma's a whole different world. Yeah, it's there's a different pace out there. it's interesting. There's definitely a different pace, especially coming from the cities like Chicago or Phoenix, or even Bloomington had like a really fast pace when I was in Bloomington, Illinois. Of course, that when I was living there was the State Farm headquarters in Bloomington, Illinois. Actually, when around the same time that I moved to Phoenix, I think State Farm moved their headquarters to Phoenix around the same time that I moved, even though I wasn't working there. I never actually worked for State Farm. I worked for Randstad, which was a temp service. So they would find temps, and that's what they did for their catastrophe claims at State Farm. So I was working for State Farm as a temp through Randstad. But I was doing the catastrophe claims for State Farm, which was probably one of their hardest jobs as far as like people skills, like soft skills. Like it required a ton of patience, just like so much patience. Patience on the company, like on State Farm, patience on yourself, because you have to like do different things each time sometimes. There was just so much patience involved. Especially in my particular job, because I was sorry, I'm just chatting, I'm not drawing so much. My particular job, I was like, I wonder if I do lighter, if that'll work. But then again, if I do it too light, I'm running into the same issue. If I do it too light, then it looks like something you can jump on. But yeah, so my particular, like, I don't even know what it was. It was like it was this weird aluminum building out in the middle of like a cornfield, but it had a big parking lot, and it wasn't nearly filled. It was overflow is what it was. The main call center was much larger in Texas, I believe, and so it was the overflow for them. So we literally didn't get a call for the first 3 hours that everyone was working there. And then after that, it took another 3 hours before someone else got a call. And it was like that every day for like weeks until storm season hit. It was crazy. You would just sit there for hours waiting for the 1 or 2 calls that you would get that day. Of course, everything changed during storm season. But it still wasn't that bad because it was the overflow. We're just having fun catching up. Yeah, no, for real. I kind of like chatting, and I've been alone for like a whole week now. I did stream a little bit, but yeah, usually like my mom and her husband are around, so I've been chatting with them quite a bit, obviously. But they had to take care of something in Florida. They own a house in Florida that they're like probably gonna sell. So, but yeah, that's all, you know, their own thing. Yeah, it's just so weird to me that this color just disappears. I wonder if maybe if I use this color, it'll work. Also, what do these tiles look like? Oh, I did the wrong thing, didn't I? I gotta click the right scene first. Here we go. So these ones worked. But these ones, it like disappears and becomes 2 colors. That's just so weird. I guess I'm sciencing. I'm learning how to use this color system. Let's see what this looks like. Make sure I'm saving over the right thing. I am. Yeah. Alright. So we've got that. We'll copy it. And then we'll pull up this guy again. Oh, that's not the right thing. Assets. Alright. So there it is. But still, it's missing. Look, it's doing weird stuff to the things too. It just like gives up. It's so weird. What if I... Yeah, that's so weird. It's like, it's not a palette issue, but it's gotta be. I don't know what I think, because it's working on this one. Maybe this color is too different, right? What if we do that? Because now it's only two colors, no, it's three colors now. Yeah, so did I export it? I think I did. I just did it so quickly that I like didn't register. Okay, so copy it. Then throw it over here. This folder. We're gonna replace it. Nothing changed. That's so weird to me. There's definitely more pixels in what I'm giving it. There's like these little Tetris patterns. But they're gone. Yeah, the whole Game Boy Color thing to me is kind of like surprising that they were able to like squeeze that much out of the system that they had in place. Because the original Game Boy games work on a Game Boy Color. And like, I don't know, clearly they made advancements in the way that they did things. But managing to get it to work on both is just a huge feat to me. And you can tell that this is part of that, right? Because the whole 8x8 tiles and how many colors you can fit, it's translatable. Yeah, it's very impressive pre-engineering project. Yeah, I mean, like, if you were to try to make a screen like that, yeah, that would be a pretty advanced project, I would think. There's an ad, but I could snooze it. Snoozed for 5 minutes. Yeah, like, I don't know. It just kind of blew my mind, because like when I was young, I didn't actually have any Game Boy Color games. I had a Game Boy Color and I loved it, but I mostly used it to play Link's Awakening for the DMG, and I didn't want Link's Awakening, the color version, because they got rid of my favorite bug, where you could exploit the screen warp thing, because that's what made that game amazing to me. So yeah, Nintendo was I don't know, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way when they got rid of that bug. Like when they remade the game, they're like, oh yeah, we fixed that thing that you loved so much. You're not familiar with the screen warp bug? Okay. Alright, we need to take a little break here, and we'll figure this out. I think it's called a screen warp glitch. Link's Awakening GB screen warp glitch. Okay, I think I found something. I'm gonna mute it so we don't have to listen to it. But essentially, you get to the edge of the screen over here or wherever, wherever it will let you warp. So anytime the screen moves in this case, alright, so he did something weird there. But my favorite was inside these places. If you manage to like move, he's not doing it the way I did it. He's already in the warp dungeon. So yeah, you can enter a warp dungeon. This guy does it a really weird way. I'm gonna find a different one. Oh wait, I'm not gonna find it that way. But yeah, when you get to the edge of the screen, you hit select, and then you can warp the screen. You can warp to the next area in the map. Where is this it? This might do it. Where did that go? So like situations like this, you could use it to get to this faster, right? So watch what he does here. He's gonna get to the edge and he's gonna hit the select button to pull up the map, I think is what it was. Just as he hits the frame. It's like a frame perfect thing. Well, there's a couple frames. So yeah, he's gonna do it. He's gotta do it. Here he goes. So do you see everything move while he did that? Everything warped over and now he's over there. So if you do that inside of a dungeon or inside of a sideways screen, like because there's parts of the game where it's like side view, if you do it in those screens, or the fishing screen was my favorite. If you did it in the fishing area, the whole game would become so weird, right? Because not only would the sprites be messed up, because the sprites would totally messed up, but the backgrounds would look the same, but their physics and triggers would be all messed up. So what looks like grass all of a sudden acts like water or lava, right? So it was super cool. I had so much fun with it. Yeah, I'm gonna snooze the ads again because this is like one of my favorite things to talk about. This changed my life as a kid. Because it was like I had already played through the whole game and not needed the bug to win or anything like that. But then when I found it, I was just like so into it again for like a whole nother year and a half or something like that. That was like the only thing that I did, or the only game that I played, right? I'm sure I played some other games, but like I was going through batteries like crazy on that Atomic Purple. But since it was only 2 batteries compared to the 4 batteries of the DMG, like, you know, I was in heaven. I loved that thing. I felt, because this was pre-internet basically. Like I didn't have the internet, or if I did, I didn't have like access to it. So like I did find out about the screen warp glitch. Like I just showed you that guy warping across the screen. And that was in a magazine, I think. I don't think it was a Nintendo magazine. I think it was like GamePro or Game Informer or something like that. But I found that, and like this light bulb went off in my head, because I had already completed the game and kind of moved on to other things at that point by the time that I found the magazine with the screen warp bug. And so this light bulb goes off, and I'm like, I'm gonna play that game again. And I'm like, this is so cool. I can do so much with this, because I knew the game inside and out already, right? And so like the first thing I did was like try to beat the game without the sword, and that was so fun to me, because you could do it. You could beat the game without the sword, because you need the sword to beat the last guy. It gets really difficult, but there's a way you can do it. I think you just use the fire wand instead. But yeah. And so I figured that out, and then I got really experimental, and I started like going into the places where you wouldn't think to go, like the screen wrap on the ocean, right? You go to the other side of the ocean, then you drop down from the sky where the egg is and stuff like that. That was crazy. And there's actually like a any percent speed run that does that, and they just go straight to the boss and kill it, which is pretty cool. I never thought to do that. When I saw that any percent speed run, I was like, wow, that's what I should look up, because they do it right. I mean, I don't think anyone really did it the way I was doing it though, and that was what was so cool to me, because it was such a expansive exploit. Any percent speed run. Everything's DX. Maybe it works on the DX. I thought it didn't. I don't know why it keeps showing me DX stuff. Maybe if I type in original. I don't know, we'll take a look at this any percent. Yeah, no, this is like 20 minutes. Oh, it looks like you did use the screen warp though. Oh, this is a different bug. It's essentially the same bug, but they're doing it. They don't use the screen warp to do it, because they took the screen warp out. They use what they call the doghouse glitch. Oh, I think I found it. Oh no, this is the same DX one, but check out this doghouse glitch. So they entered the doghouse from the wrong direction, probably because of a collision error, and it apparently takes the direction into account when it enters the door because it doesn't know what to do with the textures at this point. And this is different than the version I played, but it's similar. That's actually cool that there's so many glitches for the DX version, because that was honestly the reason why I didn't pick that up, is because I figured they fixed the glitch that I enjoyed. So that's actually pretty cool. Oh look, I'm live on YouTube. Oh, by the way, I did put the chat for YouTube up on my OBS, so hopefully that works. I don't know. Every once in a while, it looks like people chat on my YouTube, but I'm usually too involved with the Twitch to notice. We'll do the ad break here. Bonnie's snoring. I guess that's a good thing. Alright, we're back from the ad break. Catching up on chat. Laugh out loud, it's funny you love glitches so much. I really did not like glitches as a kid, or now. Yo, hacker mode activated. Yeah, no, I thought the glitches were the best part, to be honest. Because it got me closer to understanding how games were made. And that was the whole goal for me. It's really strange. When I was a kid, I was so intrigued by them that I wanted to know how it was done, but I didn't think anyone knew. I thought that the only people who knew how it was done were the people that were doing it, and I didn't know how they knew. Like, I felt like it was this big mystery because anyone who I asked didn't know, and I just kind of gave up asking after a certain point. And like, I looked for books on how to draw and stuff like that, but I guess I never tried to look up how to make games, and I didn't have a computer, so I definitely took the artistic angle from the beginning. And I think that's part of why I love bugs so much, is because they can be really colorful. you know? Like, as frustrating as it was when, like, your cartridge wouldn't load, right? And you're, like, blowing in it. And, we used to rub it underneath our nose. This sounds crazy, but it wasn't just me. It was, like, it must have been, like, a local phenomenon, because all the other kids were doing it, too. It was, like, it wasn't like you would inhale it, but you would just rub your nose over the slot. And your nose was supposed to pick up the dust, like, just like without inhaling. You weren't inhaling or anything. You were just rubbing your nose, and that was supposed to be better for it than spitting on it accidentally by blowing on it. So it was like a more refined way of getting the dust off because you don't care about your nose. It was stupid for sure. Sequel Jesus said, haha, games are divine in nature. They are impossible to comprehend. Glitches are demiurgical subversions. Nice. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. My childhood was full of little, like, stuff like that. Like, I remember, like, well, first of all, by the time Mario 3 came out, I was already well versed in warps and bugs and glitches, right? Because my parents showed me how to get to the warp pipe behind what is it, 1, 2 in Mario, Super Mario Brothers, right? The first underground level, you get behind that pipe back there. And that was mind-blowing, but I was like 2, you know? I was like, I don't even know. I mean, I think the game came out the year I was born, so. Yeah. I wish that I could figure this out, because it's got me, like, kind of stopped in my tracks. But yeah, when I was a kid, Mario 3 came out, and I was so into, like, finding all the secrets and stuff, because there's a lot. And, you know, finding the whistle, and then the second whistle, and then you use the whistle, and then you use the second whistle, and it takes you to the end. Like, I remember, like, thinking that was, like, so cool. But this kid, I mean, this was, like, back in kindergarten, like, literally kindergarten. And this kid at the playground told me that there was a sword in Mario. That was and I was like, no, you're talking about the wand that you pick up at the end of the level. And he's like, no, this is a sword. It's a secret. I was like, what? Really? Yeah, it's a secret sword, Mario 3. And he convinced me. And I came home and told my brother and his friend, and they laughed at me like, no, you believed in some lie. You're so gullible. I was like, no, there's a sword. You gotta believe me. We gotta find it. Let's look for the sword. They stopped me from looking, though. I didn't look, because, like, they convinced me that I had been made a fool of. Laugh Out Loud game rumors used to be so fun. I don't know. Honestly, that's the only, like, rumor that I remember. Usually it was, like, things that were true. Game rumors are a lost art. Yeah, now it's all the internet. It all kind of died with the internet. You would laugh about the things that you looked up together, you know, and be like, was it Turok 2? Beware Oblivion is at hand was one of their things. And it took forever to type this out on, like, the Nintendo 64. Did you ever try to find Mew in Pokemon? Yeah. But I was more into Missing No. Because of my nature. I mean, that was, like, the whole point of the game, was to find bugs after I found Missing No. But of course I didn't find it on my own. Someone like leaked it to somewhere, Yo, that's why I was so suspicious of glitches. Oh, because you lost your save data? I see, it never messed up my save. Never messed it up. I'm missing node my cart, and ultimately lost my save. Rest in peace, level 99, Mr. Man. It never killed my save. I don't know what I did differently, but I don't know. It never ruined my save. But yeah, I had a Mewtwo, and it was like super OP. Lucky duck, man. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't realize that it was that was such an issue. I thought it was just like, oh, don't do that because it could screw up your save. It didn't brick the cart though or anything like that, right? I mean, you would just start a new save, right? But yeah, I could see why a lot of people didn't like that bug then. Save just got scrapped, yeah. So what's really interesting about missing no is that there's like a bunch of missing no's. So I think I found one that was like safe. Or maybe less damaging. To be honest, I think that was my first experience with bad persistent state in program game. Yeah. I'm trying to think of like early ones. Because yeah, I remember getting stuck in games and being like, what the heck? Well, ET doesn't really count because that's how it was designed, but man, I fell into one of those holes and I just couldn't get out. I still to this day don't know how you get out of the damn holes in ET. But like I said, that wasn't a bug, that was how it was designed. Yeah, I think some of them keep overflowing or something, but some are definitely safe. Oh, okay, then maybe I found a safe one. But yeah, I know there's like a bunch of different ways and a bunch of different patterns. I was watching like a 30-minute thing on YouTube about it. I think it was 30 minutes. It was interesting. I definitely recommend watching it if you can stomach the technical speak. Sometimes I can, sometimes that stuff puts me to sleep, I'll be honest. We'll definitely check it out. Yeah, there's a lot of Pokemon information out there. Honestly, I'm not even the biggest Pokemon fan, but I love the Game Boy, and there's just so much information about how they did things and stuff. Essentially, that's kind of what I was doing with Demon Fish Dead Ahead, where here we'll pull up an example. So, did that work? Did that not work? Oh, it didn't work? That's weird that it didn't work. Usually it puts up a pixel art image over my face. I think I need to refresh it. We'll try it again. It made the sound effect though, so it's weird. It's weird that it made the sound effect, but didn't do the image. Something broke. Anyways, what I did was I used the 8x8 tiles, and so I think the smaller fishes were 9 tiles. So you know, just one of these, I could probably find them. Oh, there it is. Now it's up. It took long enough. I don't know why it took so long. Yeah, so if we look at the swap tiles here, you can see these. Each one of these were a fish. So Pokemon, they did the same kind of thing, where they swapped the tiles. Basically, I'm pretty sure, but I think they did it more impressively because those glitches that you get are like really weird. Yeah, big sprites. Stream Elements said IGDR, but the command didn't go off. That's really weird. Oh, there it is. Took a second. I don't know why Mix It Up is being slow. But I set it up to on a timer to randomly spam my podcast. Yeah. So I think well, what's next here? These levels don't have anything. So those ones should be easy because they use the default or the first 8 palettes, right? I don't have to switch the palettes. But yeah. I also wonder if switching the palettes here affect that. No, they don't. It's just so weird that, oh, look at that, it changed back to that. But then when I do that, they go away completely. Isn't that weird? That's so weird. I don't understand. Is it so weird? And then I can't fix it when it's in this mode. Like, if I could like make it this, but then fix it, that would be best. Or if it would just work, that would be cool. Not sure why it's not working. Like, these work, that's not working. What's going on with that? Was it this one? Whoa. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got 4 colors. I don't know. These ones do not anymore, which is weird because, oh, whoa. That is very weird. But then this still has those colors. But then this is screwed up. Yeah, it's really kind of mind-blowing. I don't know. I guess it's probably better to start on these other levels that aren't finished. Where are we with that? So 6 is good, and then H, I think. It looks like I've already started G. That actually looks pretty cool, but will it work? Because it looks like it's using more palettes. I don't want to overwrite the original, so I'm doing that. This folder. copy that. Go up a layer, paste it here, rename it over the original, replace it. That's so weird, right? First of all, that's really cool that it worked with the background on this one, like completely. There's no like issues anywhere. But then it's just so weird that when you hit this button, the background just goes away. I guess that's because it's forcing it to only use one palette. So what I'm thinking now, I could be wrong on this, but no, I probably am wrong. I'm not sure if Game Boy Color games are compatible with a DMG version. Like if you have a Link's Awakening DX and you put it in a DMG, I don't think it'll load, right? Or would it load something that looks like this, where it's missing the colors? It's so weird how it goes from like being like super easy to just drag and drop your thing in there, but then as soon as you like get past those 8 palettes, it's like wham, you gotta paint all of your own things. But yeah, I'll have to deal with that. So let's see here. I think it would be alphabetical, right? So H comes after F. Ah, black and gray carts work with Game Boy Color and DMG. Clear carts only work in Game Boy Color. I think you're right. I remember hearing about this now. That's so interesting, right? I don't think I've ever actually seen a clear cart game in person, but I don't really go shopping for this kind of stuff anymore. And when I did, that stuff didn't exist, I don't think, so. I've seen the black cartridges, but I'd never owned one. But I think you're right, because I remember seeing something about that. But yeah, I don't think I've started 7H yet, so I think that's what needs to happen here. We can use 8 as like a starting point. We'll get our grid up. And since I've been so unproductive, I think it's time for me to actually start moving at a decent pace here. Yeah, the shape of the clear cart is a little different, so they actually don't fit in the DMG. Now, I've seen pictures of the clear ones, but I don't think I've seen one in person. But yeah, I think you're right. I think they did that strategically, which is pretty cool if you think about that. They were like thinking about all that stuff ahead. Right, because it had to fit in the Game Boy Color and not fit in the DMG. That's kind of impressive. So I've been playing more with tiled, but I'm still not to the point where I'm quick in it, I end up like messing around and taking a long time to figure things out. But I'm getting better. I'm getting better. Since this is the last one of this tile set, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for me to make a tiled project file for it. It's probably just faster for me to just go at it from the Aseprite way. And I know everyone always comes in here and like, how come you're not using the tile set feature? It's like, because it doesn't work very well. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes it does. It works for certain things, like updating your tiles, right, and keeping them all the same. But you can't like edit them on the fly or do anything like, I don't know. Like you have to know what you're doing before you start, kind of thing. And I like to like kind of work on the fly. Yeah, Nintendo was doing some interesting forward-looking engineering. Agreed, I could not get a good workflow for tiles cooking in Aseprite. Yeah, it was like, it just felt counterintuitive. Like, we're in this like pixel editing program, and then they're like, oh, well, you can have the tile, but you can't edit the pixels. Like, you have to make a different tile for each time you want to edit the pixel, and then it's like, all right, well, now that I have that, I want to work with it with another layer behind it or something like that, and it just became so like counterintuitive to what I was used to and how my workflow is. It's just a lot faster. Like if it had rules, I would be all over that. But since there's no rules and it doesn't I don't know, it just doesn't do what I want it to do. The more I talk about it, the more I'm like, I want to give it a shot again, but like I was not very impressed with it, to be honest. Like, okay, it's there, but like, can we make it functional? I don't know, maybe I'm being too hard. Honestly, I love Aseprite. I love all the features it has, and I think that it's awesome that they're doing new things. So I'm not going to complain about it, but I wish that they spent more time on it, or made it a little bit more intuitive, or made it just like function better with the stuff they already have. What am I looking for? Don't I already have that? I hate when you accidentally rotate a sprite, like a selection, like accidentally skew it or something like that. But if you don't realize it, like that's a huge pain. Yeah, I missed the Clip Studio Paint sale again, but I'm so busy with this one that I don't really have a whole lot of time to learn another software. Also, I don't really have anything to draw, like, at the moment. And I have Brita and GIMP, so, like, it's not like I'm hurting for graphics software. Though I do think Clip Studio Paint would be fun to mess with once I do have some time to do some more drawing. Yeah, it's weird. Like, it's been so long since I've done actual drawing that, like, picking up a stylus felt funny to me the other day. Of course, I use a pen all the time, and I'll write on paper, and that never feels unnatural to me. But the stylus is like a different beast, you know? Real digital artist hours. There's an ad starting in a couple seconds here. I'm gonna snooze it. But yeah, I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh yeah, no, it had been a while, you know? And it was also like the thing that I was trying to do was like going to be very difficult to do that way, like to hand draw it. And like for some reason my brain was like having trouble figuring out like if it really wanted to do that. Like it's like and like the frustration kind of came out on the tablet where what really needed to happen was I needed to switch software and do it in vector. And once I did that, it was like I used the mouse still, but it went much smoother. Because I don't know, I love drawing, and like I said, I use a pen all the time. I never really liked pencil. Like when I was a kid, I used to use a pencil a lot, and it would just always bother me because like it would smear. It didn't keep very long. Like I didn't use fixatives or anything like that. I don't know if you had to like use artist pencils, otherwise the contrast was all off, and erasing was like this big thing, right, where you could accidentally ruin the piece by trying to erase it with a bad eraser, or like have to deal with all those little crumbly pieces and stuff. So I just really got into pen after a while because I knew how to draw, like, so I didn't really need to mess with erasing. But it's funny because as soon as I started like to do digital painting, it was like a whole nother thing where it was like, you know how to draw, but why does it look so bad, and how do you fix it, right? Because that's what digital painting is. It's like a whole different struggle, if you ask me. Like, it's just a lot easier with a paintbrush for me. But yeah, you can do a lot of things that you can't do, obviously, with digital. Like the 3D warping and stuff like that, like, respect. Oh, I actually wanted that one to go down. I'll get to it later. I keep doing that when I want that. Alright. And same with this one. I want that one to go downwards too. So we'll just put it right on top there. Yeah, because there's another pipe level below this one. Actually, yeah. So I want it to look like it kind of lines up. Not that it really matters because it's a different scene. So, do I not have that one yet? I don't think I do. This one. There we go. Yeah, it's funny. I mentioned how Oklahoma has like a different pace, but when I was working at the call centers, mostly at the credit card processor, we got calls from like all over the country, and I think it was South Carolina. That was a different pace. Like, holy cow, was that slow? Like, every customer calling from there, like, didn't matter if they were a merchant or if they were like a civilian, you know, like they were just chatty and polite. Oh, there's an ad starting soon. I think I'm going to warm up my tea during the ad break here. Alright, looks like we're back. Sorry about the ads. Warmed up my tea. Dog has awoken, so we'll see what he has to say. We are about 2 hours into the stream, so it wouldn't surprise me if the dog needed its own break. The dog's owners come home tonight, so that will be nice for me. Not that I don't mind, I love Bonnie, but he can be a handful sometimes. Woo! Off dog sitting duty. Yeah, that's the plan here. I don't know what her plan is. Sometimes she gets stuck at the stairs. Needs motivation. But then I'll tell you, in the middle of the night, she goes up and down those stairs all on her own. She gets all of her toys from upstairs, brings them downstairs, tries to hide them in the furniture. One by one, up and down, and then all of a sudden she acts like it's like the most terrifying thing to do. For a while there, she was making people carry her up the stairs. Laugh out loud. Relatable. Stairs take a lot of energy. It is a split level house, so there's... I mean, the staircases are short, but... there's 2 of them, and the one down here is actually pretty steep. Also, there's like an elevator chair in this one down here, which takes up some of the room, and an already pretty narrow staircase. So the dog probably has issues with... Actually, I kind of know what the issue is. The dog likes to climb stairs up or down on the right side. I figured this out just from walking the dog up and down the stairs. Because I was trying to like get her over her fear of the stairs is what I was trying to do. So I was just like, because she doesn't have a problem with the ones upstairs because there's no elevator there. But she always goes on the right. So if I'm going down the stairs, she's on the right. If I'm going up the stairs, she's on the right. But on this one, she can only go down on the right. She has to go up on the left. And it takes her for a while to even put that together, I think. And then, yeah. And then to build the confidence to actually do it is like a whole nother thing. She's got separation anxiety, and she used to be a stray. So, in fact, we don't even know how old she is. There's a chance that she's older or younger than what we guessed. But yeah, unfortunately, and this is like, you know, super sad. I don't mean to trauma dump. So trigger warning. But Bonnie's got cancer. Bonnie's got what is it? Melanoma in her mouth, which is apparently somewhat common for dogs these days. But it's very sad because her expectancy is very slim, and it's probably going to happen very quickly. That's super sad. But she's lived a great life, you know, outside of being a stray. My folks, they took great care of her. They treat her so well. Like I treat pets well myself, but they spoil this dog. They cook her food. Like she gets her own, they make her dog food. They make like, you know, they'll get ground beef and some vegetables and they'll cook it up. And then they'll mix that in with like the stuff, with like the expensive stuff. That, like, don't get me wrong, dog food smells terrible, right? But the stuff that they get actually doesn't smell nearly as bad as the other stuff. Yeah. And I swear to, I kid you not, they will give her fillets. If they're making fillets, she gets some. So she lived a great life while she had the chance, you know. So, but unfortunately, we don't know how old she is, so we don't know if how long her life's being cut short. To be honest, you know, for all we know, she could be like 14 years old. And for a stray, or for an ex-stray, that's actually a pretty good expectancy, but we don't really know. Oh, Lulu wants to. Yeah. Lulu's confused about when food time is, I think. But also, I sealed off her special entrance. I'm gonna fix that for her. There's like this, I don't know what you call it, like paneling, right? But it's like a movable panel, right? like a movable wall type thing, and I set it up to kind of like block me from the distractions of the laundry room and the stairs there because there's no door. But I set it up. You're welcome. Yeah, I see you. You can sit on the chair. First of all, I set up a chair for her, and then you're welcome. And then I put a blanket on it so it would be comfortable for her because it's like a wooden chair. And then I opened the panel just like a little bit. Oh, you want your mouse? It's on the chair. Go get it. It's going for it. Oh, she's on the chair. Yeah, so I made her own little doorway because I know cats love that type of stuff, secret passages and all. And it's like this little slim passage between the panel and the actual wall, and the dog can't fit through it, a human can't fit through it, and it's just for the kitty, and she knows it. She loves it. But yeah. She's the top dog. Laugh out loud. In the middle of the cat highway. Yeah, and then Lulu's had health problems too, but she's actually doing better. She was diagnosed with diabetes just this last year, and what happened there? We had to give her insulin. Oh, I'm not on my own layer here. Usually I make an art layer. All of that is wrong. But yeah, so we had to change her diet, so no more dry food, and we had to give her insulin. It was like the smallest amount. It was like half of the number, half of the smallest number. But now she's in remission, so all of that's helped her. It was weird because all of a sudden she lost like a lot of weight, like really quick, like way quicker than you should, because she was a big cat and we were trying to wean her off of the food a little bit. So a lot of things had happened. We, like I mentioned earlier in the stream, her mother, the cat's mom, had died because of old age, and again, the cat lived a great life, a ex-farm cat, and got to live with her daughter Lulu here, who had grown huge because she had this thing where anytime that her mom would start eating, she would push her mom out of the way and start eating the food anytime, and she would do that until her mom would leave. So her mom got super skinny and she got super huge, and so that's what it was like when I moved in here. And then so eventually Faith, the mother, died, and then we got Lulu on a timer kibble thing, and we thought that was going to fix the issue, and it wasn't a cheap food timer either. It was expensive. I can't remember how much it was, but I was surprised in how much it was, and we didn't even get to use it very long because all of a sudden she lost like so much weight, and I was like thinking maybe that's because of the thing, but like that's also like way faster than we ever thought, and it's not like we were starving her, but I guess that's what happens sometimes with diabetics, or at least in felines. I don't really know that much about diabetes, to be honest. But we gave her the insulin shots, and we switched her diet up, and then we lowered the insulin until we weaned her off of it, and that's what the vet told us to do. And now she's better. So hopefully, fingers crossed, you know? That's all you can ask for. Yeah, that's great. Absolutely. The special cat thoroughfare. Yeah. Specialty cat. Yeah, no, you know, cats love novelty, right? So like anytime you like have a bored cat, all you have to do is introduce some novelty into their life and they'll love that. So like something as simple as just moving furniture is enough to be like, cats are like, holy cow. Like my mom was joking about the fact that they had neither of the pets had ever seen a different couch in the living room, and they finally got a new couch, and the cats were just, or the pets were just astounded that there was new furniture. They just like couldn't wrap their head around it. But now they're used to it. But all you gotta do is move it, and that's enough for them to be like, what is going, for at least for cats. Dogs probably don't care unless it smells different. Yeah, cats, it's like they'll try to turn it into a maze or something. Truly unknowable forces. Yeah, Lulu, I caught her sleeping under the tree earlier. There's a Christmas tree up, and Lulu was just enjoying the thing underneath. They have like a padded skirt for the tree. The cat loves that. She used to climb it back when she was young. She's super chill, but now that her diet's been changed and all that stuff, she gets like zoomies in the middle of the night now. At around 2 a.m. she'll come down, she'll use the litter box, she goes over to this pole down here in the basement, and she just like looks at it. She does this thing with her ears. She turns, she looks again, and then she just runs for it all the way up the stairs, and she does it as loudly and as fast as possible. And then she goes up and she, wow. This is like 2 in the morning. Like, she never used to do that stuff. So it's actually pretty cool to see her active, because that's what cats are supposed to do. Healthful zipping, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, they're supposed to be active, and like it's funny, I think, because she was so inactive for so long that it's almost like she becomes possessed, and like she doesn't know how to deal with it, so she just acts real like just like let loose. You see kittens do that kind of stuff, you know? Like they don't know how to act, so they just go for it. Back when I was a kid, I had a cat it was a farm cat, like born on a farm, and it was some type of dysplasia or something that it had. So it was well, she was just the best cat, right? But at the same time, she had some issues like with learning like cat things. She was really good at learning human things, but she was really bad at learning cat things. So if you were expecting her to like act like a cat, she wasn't going to at all. So like sometimes it got a little awkward for strangers who came over and expected her to act like a cat. Like for instance, the first time that it affected anyone else, we left the house. We were living in an apartment, and we left the apartment, and apparently we left the door just a little bit cracked, like it didn't shut all the way, and the cats like were kittens. Well no, they weren't kittens. They were probably like maybe just less than a year old, or yeah, they were probably still kittens, so maybe 2 years old. Yeah, probably a year old. I don't remember exactly. Anyways, what happened was we lived on the first floor of the apartment, and since the cats were out, the neighbors noticed. They were up above us on the second story. They just took them into their home and waited for us to come home. They were going to tell us, oh, we have your cats. But they thought they were normal cats, because the one was normal. The sister was normal. Well, actually, there was 3 of them, I think, at that point. I'm not sure. I think we got rid of one of them. We had to like find a new home for one of them because 3 was too much for my mom, I think is what happened. But that, I think we found a new home for it. And then yeah, so we had I think they were like maybe a year old or something. So they put them on the balcony. That's where the stories go. And they put both the cats on the balcony, and Gracie just jumped off the second story balcony. You know, she didn't know. She just jumped right off. And she chipped her tooth, but she was fine. She didn't break any bones or anything. And the neighbors were just like so sorry and like apologetic and freaked out. And they're like, we never saw a cat do that before. We didn't think a cat would just jump and plummet like that. Neighbor horror, yeah. And thank God she was okay. She landed on the grass, you know, because yeah, the balconies pointed to the grass, luckily. But yeah, that was the first time we were like, okay, yeah, she definitely has some special needs as far as like cats are concerned. But she was really good about it, you know? Like the only other time that I can think of that like actually like got in the way was that she was a terrible jumper. She would like jump and hit her head on everything. Like if she was trying to get to a chair, she would jump and hit her head on the table. She did so much that she had a bump on her skull from it. Like just from the repetitive bumping her head constantly. And we couldn't fix it. There was nothing we could do to prevent her from bumping her head. That's just how she got around. If there was something above her and she needed to jump, she would overshoot the jump and she would bump her head and she would land, and it didn't bother her. She would act like it didn't bother her. And so that's what happened. I mean, it would have been nice to have cushioned the bottom of the table, and maybe we should have done that, but no one was that forward thinking at the time. And so the cat would overshoot jumps. One time she jumped over the kitchen table. We were eating dinner and she just jumped right over the table. And I'm on the wrong layer here. That's okay. I've been on the wrong layer all this whole time. So yeah, there was food on the table. She wanted to get to it, but she jumped completely over the table, over the food, onto the other side of the table. That's how she jumped. She just had and she would always do this thing where she would just be like, because she had a very distinct meow, she would go like very drawn. And I don't know, maybe I'm not doing it right. It's been a long time. I think she died in 2011, so it's been a long time now. But yeah, she was 16 years old when she died or something like that. She lived a long life. It wasn't depth perception. It was some type of mental thing that it was like a neurological thing where her brain would signal, but her body wouldn't respond always correctly. But I think there was more than that too, because she was probably inbred because she was from a farm. So it was weird because we had like, there was the whole litter there, and our other friend took like half of the litter and we took half the litter, I think is what happened. And every other cat was fine. Actually, I'm not sure about that. I think ones on the other side had health issues too, now that I think about it. I don't know, I was really young. I was like 1st grade when I got that cat. Yeah, and Gracie was mine. That was the one that I like claimed as my own or whatever. Mick had Marble. And then there was, the other one was Fuzzy that we had to get rid of. And Fuzzy was normal, but Fuzzy was a guy, and my mom was worried about the carpets. But yeah, she was at least polite about her inability to jump, because like I said, she would always do like a warning meow, and then all of a sudden, like, I'd be on the couch watching TV, I'd hear the warning meow, and I would just like cover my face, like literally, because you didn't know where she was going to land. One time she landed on my head, like literally landed on my head, her hind legs sticking out one side on the, or one on each side of my face. Like seriously, that's how she landed. And like, I wasn't alone. I was on the couch with my family, and everyone thought it was hysterical. But to Gracie, that was actually a good landing, you know, she didn't even bump her head. What's impressive though was that she could hunt. That was like the only cat thing that she could do. I don't know how she did it. I never saw her do it in action, but she would always find these moles, or what were they? Were they moles? No, they were shrews. She would always find these shrews in the yard, which is crazy because I lived here for years and never saw a single shrew. But she would catch them and bring them to the house, like kill them, put them on the doorstep. She was teaching the other cat how to catch the shrews. She put the other cat to shame. It was crazy how good she was at catching these shrews. I think it was because she didn't act like a cat. But yeah, no, one of my fondest memories of Gracie was that she would get so excited about being outside, and she would just dart. You know how cats dart, right? Well, she didn't know how to dart, but she would try. Her brain would be like, dart, and her body would just do this cartoon thing where the legs would do this full circle thing, but it was like an ellipses. It was like, because there was like a lean to it, and the whole, it was a very circular motion, but like at an angle. Like her hips would go, and then they would like go the other, and like the whole thing was going in this big circle. It's really hard to describe. Yeah, I couldn't even draw it. I would need, oh, I hit the wrong button there. What did I just do? Oh no. I would need to like to do a 3D model or something like that, because yeah. Looney Tunes moment. Yeah, it was like that. Like if you were looking at the right angle, it would look like that. Like, but yeah, it was a very swinging leg movement, because once she got moving, those legs would just be up in the air, you know? Like, holy cow, how did she even like manage that? But that's how she moved quickly. She didn't ever do it inside, but once she had a nice area about her, she would go for it. She was the most gentle cat too. When she was oh, how did I turn on snapping? Oh, snap to grid. I don't know how I turned it on, but I did, and it's actually helpful. Surprised I didn't know how to do that. I'm surprised I still don't know how to do it. There's probably Shift S. That was the button I pressed. So I was watching videos on modding Doom for GZ Doom, which is kind of new to me. I never really used GZ Doom. Like, I mean, I have to play games, and like I've messed around with it a little bit now, but I was always modding vanilla Doom. So like when I was a kid, at least. So this is all kind of new to me, but it's cool. Like all this stuff. Man, this looks so familiar to me. I hope I didn't do this already. It would be in this folder. Oh shit. Here it is. I gave it a funny name. Well, I do have it. Oh, there's an ad starting soon. Nice, gonna make the next boomer shooter. Oh, there's an ad in progress. I'll read that again when the ad's over. We'll take a short ad break here. If I remember how to do that. All right, we're back. Gonna make the next boomer shooter. You know, I don't think I'm ever gonna make anything substantial with Doom modding. It's just fun. It's just a fun thing to do. But it would be fun to make some something, you know, like either a level 4 Doom or to do like an overhaul and do like just, you know, whatever. Like, what did I make? I made a I made the chainsaw into a hand that had like energy when you turn it on. I just did that recently, and or no, that's not what was it? Yeah, no, and then I made the, oh, I remember what it was. 2 hands, and you just kind of held them out in front of you, and then when you turned on the chainsaw, it would put the hands together in like this, like palms out, and index fingers and thumbs together, so it would make this kind of like shape, and then this like star, like a hexagram kind of thing, would appear in the I think it was a hectogram, like a 7-pointed star, I think I used. And like energy would come out of your hands, like, I don't think I changed the sound effects, so and then what else did I made the pistol into a staff that shoots like a some type of poof ball at the end. I changed the color of the smoke. I think I made it green. Yeah, because it's like a green, so it's just a staff, and then when you shoot, it becomes like you like move it forward, you hold it forward, and like a green fireball like appears where the muzzle flash frame was, and it's like, you know, raycasted bullet, obviously, but I thought that was interesting. But yeah, I just kind of like screwing around with stuff. I like repurposing stuff, you know. I'm gonna export this and see what happens. Actually, I think it's already exported. We'll just grab it. And then this one. This one. Oh, too far. Paste it here. Level 7. I think it's just called 7H. Can't remember. Yeah, 7H. Alright, so we're gonna replace 7H now and see what this does. That seems to work too. Oh no, look, it ran out of colors. But it actually looks kind of... Oh, we lost our lily pads there. What about these? We got the lily pads here. The problem seems to be these tiles. Oh, look at that. There's like variation within that. Oh, and they just disappear over there. I feel like I have a lot to learn about this Game Boy Color stuff still. If I... Do we have the palettes that I made? Are these them? I think this is them. Is it? I'm gonna open this one. One of these. This one? No. This one? No. Is it this one? But this one doesn't have any color. Did I not make an Aseprite version? That's probably... I probably just flattened it and then colorized it. What was I looking for? So this is probably it then. But it's got the color palette that I was looking for, so I think these are the ones that are gonna load easy. So I'm gonna try something here. So I've copied the palette there. We go to color mode, then change it to oh wow, how cool that would look. I'm just messing with this because I never really messed with this before. That's not actually what I wanted. Oh, go back to the right one. Where is that? This one. We're going to go to color mode and then hit indexed. And you see what happened there? It just changed it based on those palettes. So it did change the colors though. So that's probably not what we want. But it should work. It's weird that it did kind of the same thing. Well, that's probably not what we want because we can't just select part of the image and tell it to do that, I don't think. But yeah. What was I looking at before? More options. Color mode. It's weird, it did some weird dithering to it. See the difference? Really strange. But it looks kind of cool, actually. It doesn't make a lot of sense, though. I mean, like, in terms of tile count, like, this tile and this tile used to be the same, and now they're not. And there's, like, random colors. So, not something we can use, but it's an interesting effect. I think what I need to do is select the tiles individually and change the colors of each pixel individually. Oh. Which is kind of a tedious thing. I had a feeling that when I was kind of like getting experimental with all these colors that it would bite me in the ass later. But that's part of the reason why I didn't like, I kind of cut myself off. I didn't just think like naively like, oh, this whole project is gonna just be full of colors everywhere. I was like, I want to hit this color limit and see what happens. And I was testing to see if I could get some type of issue, and now it's happening. So I guess what I'm saying is that it's gonna help me to better learn the engine, to just like keep trying different things and see how it responds, and better understand what I'm gonna have to do to get more colors into this game. I think what it's gonna take is to go in and colorize each level individually if it doesn't use those first 8 palettes, unless there's something that I'm missing. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of information on GB Studio. Like, luckily it's a easy to understand and intuitive engine, but there's things about it that I don't fully grasp, and the color is definitely a part of it. So, in a way, I've been avoiding it. So this project has been helpful for me to get back into it, or to push myself, I guess, more than get back into it. But like I said before, I did spend a lot of time learning color in college. I'm very comfortable with color. It's the whole limitations thing that I'm still learning. It's not that I can't do palettes and limited colors and stuff like that, limited palettes. I get that stuff, but I just don't know how all of the technical like hurdles that come along with making a color game for a platform like this. In my opinion, it seems better to use the DMG version, but you can get more processing out of the Game Boy Color, so I understand why there's a push for this. But personally, I love the DMG. I think that color is cool. I think that if you're using an emulator, you can do a whole lot with the palettes that are already preloaded on the emulator. But yeah, it does force the artists mostly, but also the programmers, to live within the Game Boy limitations, which means not relying on colors. Oh, there's like extra colors. You see that? Those can't be there. Oh. So yeah, I'm just selecting all of these and cleaning them up if needed, and then I'm going to one by one change the colors. Tell me everything's still selected. Okay. I saw this and I was like, uh-oh, did I lose my selection? So with all the Steam sales, I recently picked up Doom 2016, the one that came out before Doom Eternal, and it's actually pretty good. I was enjoying it a lot more than Doom Eternal. I think I only played Doom Eternal for maybe an hour or two before I was like, man, this game kind of sucks. But Doom 2016, I think they did a pretty good job with that one. I was actually pretty impressed. I still haven't gotten around to playing Doom 64. I think I have it on the Epic Store because it was free for a bit there, but I just never got around to playing it. I've heard good things about it though. Oh, I missed it. You gotta hop off, but fun to chat. Good luck with the palette. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. How long ago was that? 10 minutes ago. Sorry. Oh man. Well, I hope Sequel has a great day, even though he's probably not around to hear me say it at this point. I don't know how I missed that. I think I got so into my Doom conversation, and me just talking about Doom. I really liked Doom when I was a kid. That was one of like the first games that, like, I don't know, first game that scared me for sure. But also like my dad showed it to me, so that is always cool. Like when my dad was like pull out the computer to show me something, I always thought that was really cool. I remember playing it late at night and just being so scared. Like seeing the people being crucified on the wall, right? With like pools of blood and like body parts ripped off and stuff. Like that shit just scared me so much. And then the lighting, and then the bad guys are there. Like as an artist, yeah, I'm like looking at the art like, holy cow, this is crazy. And then there's a bad guy like, rah! Just like ready. They planned that shit. And yeah, I mean, I loved MS-DOS when I was a kid. I thought that shit was amazing. And then by the time I got into high school, being like the modding stuff, like finally getting dial-up, it was like breathing new life into the game for me. I never actually played online with people. I did download levels and play them though. I remember downloading arena levels and not realizing that like their arenas for like fighting each other weren't like single player levels. And I was like, I play them anyways and realize like, oh, this would be fun if I had friends. And Duke Nukem, I got into that with a build engine. Definitely got into that. Alright, so now that I've got this, I think I'm going to try to use these colors. So, but also, it's got to be like in threes, right? I think these ones need to be at the end for it to make sense. Oh. Yeah. So, actually, I don't think they're in order, but I'm pretty sure. Actually, I have no idea. So at one point I spent a lot of time rebuilding these palettes in this. I think I saved them though. I mean, that would make sense, right? But where did I save them? That's the question. Got this Aseprite folder. This would be the place to put it, right? Palettes. There we go. Pyrotoad. I think we're onto something. All right, so there was more, but because I actually set this one up the proper way, but that'll make it easier to work with here. So if I use these colors, then this should work theoretically. So this will be the dark color, and this will be that color. Did I mess that up? I think I did. Yeah, that's not gonna work for me. So I'm just gonna use this color for now, and then so this color, this color, this color. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. There's just too many colors. Oh man, that looks bad though. I don't know, maybe that'll work. Oh, but that's still too many colors. What if we use this color instead for that? And then this color. It still looks like it's not a background, and that's an issue. I think we need it to be this color, but I don't know. Doesn't look amazing or anything like that. This actually looks better. How did I get to that? By deleting this color? Is that it? I think that's what we want. Maybe we'll get to keep our lily pads this way. Let's try this. Save it. Oh, I don't need to export because it's a PNG. So we're gonna grab our file here, copy it. Gonna pull up this folder again. We'll paste it here. 7 H. Backgrounds, replace. Alright, now let's take a look and see how the game world was affected. Alright, so it's still not good. Very strange. It's only using 69 tiles. I don't know how that is accurate, but it seems inaccurate. Also, it doesn't look terrible the way that is, but we don't have our lily pads, and that's kind of an issue. Gotta have the lily pads. So it's like it's running out of palettes because it's creating this palette. I think because it probably goes from up here to down here. So yeah, I think there's still an issue with this. I think I wonder if the issue's actually with this one because it's creating this palette. I think that's what it is. I think it's doing its best to create it with 8 palettes, but it's running out because we're not being optimized with our usage here. So let's try some things here. What if we use this color? Everything just seems so too light to be a background is the issue. Yeah, that doesn't even look good. So that looks quite a bit different, but this should actually work. We'll save it. Yeah, in a way, I kind of wish that I had saved the original before I started making all these changes, but I think it's actually saved in the tiled project because I exported that to make that, so we should be okay on that front. Not that I could even use it because it had too many colors and it was experimental. The file name is RND for crying out loud. But yeah, this should work. So let's go to our folder here. And we're gonna... Oh, we got ads starting soon. Why is copy? Oh, there it is. Got a million versions of these. Alright, so 7H. I'm gonna throw that here. Replace. Oh, can't see. Click on the window. Alright, so yeah, we've got our lily pads back. They've changed a little, but that's okay. That's really weird, actually. Oh wait, no. This is the correct one, and I've screwed it up. But you can see that they changed here, and now it's working. So that's kind of cool. Except that I did screw it up by changing the lily pad. It's supposed to be this brown or this green color. So let's fix that. Yeah, so I'm gonna select them first so I don't accidentally select anything outside of them. There's another one over here. Alright, so now I've got this green color selected. I'm gonna use that. And that should work. So we'll save that. And we'll replace it in the assets folder. Okay. So we've got our lily pads back. This is the right one. We've got our crazy backgrounds. But they worked. So I mean that's kind of cool. And then these ones work too, even though it's a different background. Weird that this one is different than those ones, but it has to do with the dithering. You can see it has more dithering as it gets further this way. But hey, if it works, it works. Same thing here, like these are only one color and these are two color. And then it gets more of that second color as you get to the right, and then it's just that second color on the right. But hey, if it works, like that's cool. Kind of surprised that it does, so that's actually kind of cool. I'm thinking if we like were to change this purple color, it would also change that. So if we went darker, it would affect other things. But it might be okay to go just a little bit darker. Did that even affect the right thing? Oh, I guess it wouldn't because this was drawn on there. So what is that going to affect? Nothing? Only ones that were colorized. Apparently. Which none of these were. Like I said, this version of the project file is experimental at this point. I'm just trying to get things to work. But that does leave me at a point where I'm not sure the best way to move forward. If I go, you know, based off of what I already have for this level, that means I'll have to go in and hand paint each palette tile, the tile palettes, or however you describe that, the palette for each tile. Which isn't the end of the world, but it would be time consuming. Also, it wasn't easy. It seemed difficult. I'm gonna sip on my tea for a bit here. Yeah, because remember it was giving me weird things on the corners and stuff. Let's go back to that. Yeah, so I think it's trying to do that, but by the time it gets to there, it's already run out, or even here. I wish there was more documentation on auto color. I'm gonna do a quick little search. Automatic color. If your image is already a color PNG file, you can try switching to using automatic background palettes using the editor's sidebar. Info. You will need to be careful to follow the same requirements about unique colors per scene and tile when using automatic background palettes. If you want your images to display correctly, for example, using more than 7 unique color palettes will cause palette 8 to be overwritten, meaning dialogue and menu windows may not appear correctly for that scene. When using automatic background palettes, monochrome tiles are also created automatically. If you want to support both color and monochrome devices, you may want to provide a monochrome override image to give more control how the background appears on monochrome devices. Interesting. Tile priority. When colorizing a scene, you can use the exclamation point button to set priority tiles. These tiles will appear in front of the actors on GB Color games. I guess wouldn't hurt to put this down here. Only these tiles will appear in front of actors. Interesting. Allowing you to create depth for your scene. Note that the first color in the tiles palette will be transparent and drawn behind the actors. Interesting. So there's a way to do that in GB, not GB color mode, but this is a special GB color way of doing it. That's interesting. Also, I want to know what this monochrome override is about. When using automatic palettes, monochrome tile data is automatically generated from your color image. However, the generated shades may not match perfectly for match your intentions. For color only mode, this won't be an issue. If you plan to support monochrome devices, you can provide a second image as a monochrome override by naming it the same as your color image with a .mono PNG extension. For example, when using automatic palettes on the following image with an override. I see. By providing the override, you can get it to look like that. I see, I see. So it seems like where did that go? Everything's off the screen here. So if we use more than 7, we can't use the UI, which we're not actually using the UI in the levels, so we can use 8. But when it goes over 8, that's when it starts using other palettes. So I think that's the issue that I need to circumvent here. I think it's not able to do all of that. Weird that it can do this tile, but it can't do that tile. I'm not sure why that is. But this tile doesn't have this color, so that might have something to do with it. But it does have this color, but so does this one. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one has 5 colors in it. How is that even dealing with it? One, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait. Am I miscounting? No. It converted it to that. But not on each of the tiles. That's really weird. Not on all of them, just on some of them. Very interesting. Well, I like the way that scene 8 and scene 9 worked out. I know that they're labeled 8 and 7, but that's just the way that things are, because it goes from scene 1 to scene 3. I think scene 2 got removed. That's probably what happened. Yeah, I'm going to have to reassess my use of color palettes. So one thing we could do is we'll bring it into index mode. Oh. So, alright, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna delete the palette, and then we're going to load new palette from Sprite. So we only want I don't even know the number. Let's just do that. We'll just make a palette out of all of them. That's really interesting, right? Or no? Why is this so different than the one that I exported? Oh, because I'm not on the right file. I made one called color edit. So this one might actually work better. I'm gonna try that. Let's try that. Oh, you know what? That was right. I wanted to do that. Because the other one's called edit. Alright. So I should have that here, 9G color. Alright, and then we're gonna go into GB Studio. Paste it here. 9G. Backgrounds, replace. So it's still having a lot of trouble here. So now that we've got this, I just don't know how we can cut it down even further to get it to do the correct shading there. Because it seems like it's creating a palette for this. Oh, I see. It's a magic wand tool, not a magic brush. I was like, what's so magic about it? It's like a fuzzy select or whatever. So, yeah, it's I get it now. So it's changing each tile that's the same. A little confusing. So this stuff looks really strange, doesn't it? Because it's got way more colors here. But then when you hit that button, those colors, they just all like get merged into one. It's a lot to try to wrap my head around, not gonna lie. Trying to figure out why the colors are so messy on this one. Or how to fix it so it doesn't do that, right? It has to do with how many palettes we're using. So there's one here, right? I wonder if there's a way to make a palette out of the selection. No, just the sprite. But what we could do is copy it. Make sure we're on the right layer though. So the art layer we'll copy, make a new 8x8, we'll paste it, and then we'll make a new palette from the sprite. So we've got one. We don't want that. It's just gonna mess things up. Alright, so now we'll delete this and we'll just build the palettes that way, maybe? I guess we have to copy this. Can we do that? Oh. Gosh darn it. What happened here? Okay, so we want to save these. So we'll copy that. And then we'll go to this one, new palette from Sprite. Oh, paste it over it. So this is a really counterintuitive way of doing it. Also, these things are weird because they're not always in the same order, right? Like the darkest is over here in GB color. So it would look more like that, I think, in GB Studio. But yeah, I think it's creating a new palette for this one, so that's probably bad. This is the one where I loaded the palette. Let's try this color. Oh. Alright. Give me the right layer. This still has too many colors, huh? But that's not gonna work because it's too many. I don't even know what it is. Because it's gonna have to make a whole new palette for that. So it's probably best to just have to change that part to black or dark or whatever that is. Gosh darn it. Like that. I mean, it looks a little funny, but I don't know of a better way to fix it. I don't know. We'll save over the last one. Excuse me. Alright. Gonna copy that. And paste it over 9G. Replaced. Alright, so now still looks funky. A different type of funky. Missing like a whole bunch of these. Alright, because that's all. Yeah. That's so weird that it would just like decide like, oh, by the way, you can do some of it, but not all of it. Also, it's a completely different color than what I told it to be, so that's kind of weird. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure how that works. Very confusing. Well, kind of an unexpected stopping point, but kind of losing motivation, momentum here. And I have a lot of questions that are unanswered at this point. Might have to do some research. I feel like I need to reach out to someone who's done a lot of Game Boy Color games and ask them some questions. Just pick their brain. But also I feel like I haven't done enough research myself to even do that yet, so I feel like I need to do some of that. And also just keep testing, keep doing more stuff. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a night. Give me a quick second here. Oh man, excuse me. Alright. Well, I definitely appreciate everyone, you know, Cosmo for the bits. That was awesome. Sequel for hanging out in chat, and anyone who's lurking around. Oh, look at that. That's weird. I don't know what's going on there. Weird. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I'm gonna save that though. Alright, yep, I don't think I'm gonna raid out, so I don't know. I just feel like my energy just kind of crashed, probably from all that tea, but also because I woke up early for me, so yeah, I'm kind of shifting my sleep schedule slowly but surely, trying to fix it. But for some reason, it always kind of drifts into the night. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream before this ad starts. So thanks everyone for hanging out. Thanks again, and hopefully I come back with some questions answered, or at least another plan of action. But thanks again. Take care.